For 800 years, the city of Rome was untouchable. It was the eternal city, but in 410 AD, its gates were thrown open and the city was burned, not by an outside empire. It was sacked by its own employees, the very barbarian security guards Rome had hired to protect it. The outsourcing problem. The year is 376 AD. The Roman Empire is, in fact, it's vast, wealthy, and incredibly corrupt. And it's lazy. Roman citizens no longer wanted to join the legions. Farming or tax collecting was much safer. But the borders were still under threat. So the emperors came up with a brilliant corporate solution: outsourcing. They would hire entire tribes of barbarians, like the Goths, to do their fighting for them. They called them foederati, allied soldiers. Buffer zone. A raw deal. The Visigoths, fleeing the terrifying Huns, arrived at the Danube River, the border of the empire. They didn't want to fight. They wanted to join. They begged for asylum. Emperor Valens agreed. But the Roman commanders on the ground were disgustingly corrupt. They stole the Goths' food rations. They blockaded supplies. They let them starve. And then, Roman historians tell us, they offered the desperate Goths a horrifying trade, dog meat, in exchange for the Goths selling their own children into slavery. The rebellion. This wasn't just mismanagement. This was dehumanization. And it pushed the Goths too far. A man named Alaric, who would become their king, saw this. He realized the Romans didn't respect them. So the Goths did the only thing they could. They rebelled. At the Battle of Adrianople in 378 AD, the starving, furious Goths didn't just defeat the Roman legions, they annihilated them. They killed the Emperor Valens himself. It was a shock that rattled the empire to its core. The security guards had just killed the CEO. The fatal miscalculation. Even after this, Rome still didn't learn. For the next 30 years, they played games with Alaric. They hired him again, made him a general, then betrayed him, then refused to pay him. Alaric realized the only way to get Rome's attention was to take what he was owed. He didn't want to destroy Rome. He just wanted his people to be fed and respected. He marched on Italy 3 times. Twice, he was bought off. The third time, in 410 AD, the Roman elite in their palaces refused to negotiate. So Alaric sacked the city. The ironic lesson. The fatal miscalculation wasn't hiring the Goths. It was mistreating them. Rome's arrogance was its downfall. They hired the Goths for their strength, but despised them for their culture. They trained them in Roman warfare, then refused to treat them like Roman soldiers. Alaric was, in many ways, a product of the Roman system, a system that had the fall. The city would recover physically, but psychologically, the spell was broken. The eternal city was, after all, just stone and wood, and the Goths had proven it. This event signaled the beginning of the end. Rome had shown the world that you could be a Roman citizen, but only if you were born one. And the Goths showed them that if you treat your allies like dogs, they will eventually turn on you with Roman-trained teeth.